Colton. I would show you my six-pack abs, but I can't find them. Sorry. There's no Colton tonight. Oh my gosh. But welcome to Isolation Comedy by Comedy Wham. Colton has left us for the night. Can you believe it? So tonight, this entire show will be dedicated in his honor. Every single comic is contractually obligated to say something terrible about Colton. No, I'm just kidding. We love Colton. He is launching a new show, which is a pretty cool thing in these days. Socially responsible, safe, with masks, distancing, and all that good stuff. But he is braving the new frontier. Meanwhile, you are here with Comedy Wham's Isolation Comedy. Comedy Wham, if you haven't heard about us, we are a website, and we've done interview podcasts, album reviews, whole bunch of stuff. Live Austin comedy calendar. Anybody hear about live Austin comedy these days? Well, there's actually a few shows starting to pop up, so hopefully comedy is not dead. And so tonight we bring you 10 amazing comics, a guest host. I'm Valerie Lopez, and we hope you have a really fantastic night. If you love comedy and you love supporting comedy, donate to the Comedy Wham PayPal. We don't keep anything. We share it all with the comics that you'll see tonight. And if you particularly love somebody, then you can Venmo their information right there on their title card when they appear. You'll see all of their information, and follow them on their social media and support their comedy efforts. That's pretty much it for the announcements for me. I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts this evening. I will not be talking about flies. I will not be talking about super spreaders, although, you know, my boyfriend likes to. No, sorry, I'm not going to go there. There's children in the other room. What I will talk about is that it has been going on 7 months now that my child has been home, schooling from home, and it's been a long 7 months, to be honest. And I think any parents in the audience could relate. I wanted to share something that happened because, of course, he's doing a lot of schoolwork online, and he asks me questions about how to complete his homework. And I haven't been in school in at least 800 years, so I have no idea how any of this works. So I always Google. Anytime he asks me a question, I just go straight to Google. Well, one time, and I'm just, I don't like it when comics do this. They pull up their phones on their comedy shows, but this is online comedy, so the rules are different. But he was Googling something, and he took my phone to do this, and I said, "Why'd you take my phone? Give me your phone back." So I took my phone back, and he had actually Googled, "Why is my mom?" And let me tell you, the predictive text responses on this were highly disturbing. The very first one is, "Why is my mom so mean?" Really didn't like that. And the second one, I mean, as if the dagger wasn't deep enough. "Why is my mom always mad at me?" Why is my mom so strict? "Well, honey, you have to stay home all the time because otherwise everybody's dead." Then the next one, it goes right back to it. "Why is my mom mad at me? Why is my mom controlling?" Come on, I'm not that controlling. And then here we go. "Why is my mom crying?" Well, it's because you've spent 7 months at home. Why else? So turnabout is fair play, of course. So I had to Google, "Why is my son?" Because of course I did, because I'm a bitter bitch. I'm very vindictive. So of course the first one, "Why is my son so angry?" Because he has to spend 7 months solid with me. "Why is my son so annoying?" Nailed it. Why is my son so clingy? And then, why is my son so mean to me? Why is my son not eating? Why is my son so weird? Oh, this isn't in the phone anymore. These are just random thoughts that I have. So, if you want to have fun, if you're living with a significant other or, burdened by a permanent roommate during these COVID times, then just Google, why is my fill in the blank so, and then see what the predictive text says. It's a fun party game. Speaking of fun party games, how about we get the show going? An amazing lineup. I'm super, super excited for the comics that you will see tonight. Some have been on our show before. They're amazing. And we have some new faces on our show. We're super excited about welcoming them. And let's kick this show off with hold on, I have to look at everything all over again because I'm multitasking. Sorry, breaking the fourth wall there. We have from Chicago. Oh my gosh. I used to live in Chicago. My son, the same mean one, he's from Chicago. So I love Chicago. So I'm super, super excited that we have a Chicago comic to share with you tonight. We've got Vikram Balaji. I think I got it. I got it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. He was featured in the 2019, goodness, gosh, do this way better, 2019 World Series of Comedy Festival. And he's also been on the Chattanooga Lookout Comedy Festival. And this is super cool. He has performed in 6 different countries outside of the US. Can you believe it? I mean, now you can't travel anywhere, but that is super, super cool that he got to do that. Please, please, please give us a big round of applause for Vikram Balaji.
Hey, thanks, Val. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me. Very excited. This is actually my first virtual show. That's why I'm not at all prepared. I look like a guy who's trying to land a fucking aircraft or trying to crash one. I don't know. It depends on how you want to see it. But yeah, very excited to be here doing comedy even in these crazy times. Because last 2 months was really difficult for me, not just because of COVID, but lost a friend of mine to cocaine overdose. So it was really sad because he was my best customer. Usually I pause in the live shows just to make people uncomfortable. So now this is making me uncomfortable in the virtual show. But yeah, I think that was the good part about the whole staying at home. I don't have to meet my annoying friends because every time I meet them, they'll ask me dumb questions all the bloody time. I think last time I met them, a friend of mine was like, hey, Vikram, give me an honest answer. How would you feel if you woke up in the morning and you found out that you have 1 million in your bank account? So what a stupid question, man. I would be really pissed off. Have 2 million now. So of course I'll be happy. If I wake up in the morning and I find out that I have 1 million in my bank account, I would be very happy because that means finally my dad is dead. Yeah, I did this joke like last year, and one guy came up to me after the show and he was like, oh, dude, if your dad dies, will you really get $1 million? And I'm like, no, that was just a joke. If he dies, I won't get $1 million. But I'll still be happy though. But yeah, speaking of difficult things, I hate my dad. If that's not obvious, I'll make it obvious. But I have a good reason why I hate my dad. I was 10 years old, went to an amusement park with my family. Suddenly my dad pulled me aside and he was like, hey, Vikram, I have 5 kids to take care of. If you go missing, I won't know the difference. So I won't come looking for you. That scarred me for life. Because I have only 3 siblings. I don't know why he said 5 kids. Yeah, I still carry a picture of my dad on my phone. All my siblings make fun of it, but I think it comes in really handy. And someone comes up to you and asks you the question, "Hey, did you happen to have a look at the shooter?" I still enjoy my conversations with my dad. A few years back, I asked my dad, "Pa, what's the hardest part of being a parent?" He didn't say anything for 10 seconds, and then he said, "Vikram, the hardest part of being a parent is the constant worry about the safety of your child." I've never heard my dad talk like that. So I was like, "Pa, really?" He said, "Yeah, that's what I heard your mom say." And my dad bullshits a lot. In fact, when I was growing up, he used to bullshit a lot. But what he'll do is whenever he's bullshitting, he'll throw in a stat or two, and then that bullshit would be so believable. When I was young, I used to keep pestering my dad for money. One day he got very pissed off and he was like, "Vikram, did you know that 7 out of 10 times the kids who keep asking money from their dad would get hit by a truck? And 9 out of 10 times the truck driver is also their dad." And so I went crying to my mom and I was like, "Ma, dad is saying this." And she was like, "Don't worry, don't worry. Your dad can't afford a truck." Yeah, but one thing about my dad is I do respect my dad for all the difficult choices he had to make in life. This really happened when I was young. We had to amputate my sister's leg. Yeah, we had to amputate my sister's leg. He had to say okay for that. I don't think anyone else in the family could have done it. Like, even now, when I asked my dad, "Pa, like, how do you do it?" He said that was the only way to get her to lose some weight. Yep. Anyway, let's do some relatable stuff. Like before this whole pandemic started, I was taking the public transport in Chicago, and it was pretty late in the night, and suddenly this kid takes his phone out and starts watching pornography. Right? I was very pissed off. And I didn't get pissed off by the fact that he was doing it in the public transport. I was pissed off by the fact that it was so easy for this kid to watch. Because when I was growing up, when I had to watch, that involved a lot of hard work, a lot of planning. I had to wait for one whole week for my parents to go out. And then when they go out, they'll just be gone for 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes, I need to find a camera and then set it up in my parents' bedroom. Speaking of pornography, yeah, I don't have any segues into my other jokes. This is how it goes. Today, I overheard my girlfriend tell her friend that she faked it last night. So I think I would have to break up with my girlfriend because I was not home last night. I think I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss her because we did have a lot of sex, a lot of sex. In fact, a few months back, when we were about to have sex, she was like, "Vikram, stop. I need to tell you something." It's like, "Hey, what's up?" And she said, "Vikram, I'm into role play stuff." So I got really excited. I was like, "Okay, what kind of role play?" And she said, she's into father-daughter role play. It didn't work out because she wanted me to be the daughter. Cool. You know what? I think I'll finish my set with that, Val. I don't think I heard any timer, but I could be wrong because I thought I'm done with 7 minutes. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Vikram Balaji.
I am seriously considering Vikram's weight loss program suggestion from his dad. Because this whole pandemic, I used to have six pack abs like Colton does. He still does. We all know it because if you go to his Instagram, it's all there. But now I don't. So yeah, I guess I'll have to find out if that's covered by insurance. It's weight loss, right? That should be covered. It's all part about making me healthy. All righty then. On that note, why did I have to bring it down? Why? Because this is going to be. I am super excited about our next comic. Our next comic, I actually was lucky enough to see her a few years back. She came through a show called Sure Thing, which is a pretty popular, well-known show in Austin, and I loved her style of comedy, and I'm sure you'll all fall in love with her. She is known for, well, more recently, she attempted to get through 50 states of driving on her adorable little Prius. She also has a book, and this speaks to my heart. It is a book of puns, which is available on Amazon, called Once Upon a Time, The Legend of Size Queen, and that's Sighs. And I'm super excited that she is doing our show tonight. So please give a big round of applause to Rena Calm.
Yeah.
Hi, maybe. Oh God, sorry. If my phone's not working now, is the newest update from 2020. Okay. If it's how it's looking to me where it's choppy like this, let's go to the next person and I'll come back because I can try to find another device. This doesn't seem to be working.
Okay. What an incredible set from Rena Calm, everybody. Oh my gosh. The best I've seen. No, you're not high. I mean, you might be, but we had some technical glitches. We are working on bringing her back. So this is just a night of fun, everybody. And the fun is not going to stop anytime soon because we have certified punk rock. Is there a certification for being punk rock? If there is, then our next comic owns that certification, hands down. For his credits, he wanted me to share with everybody that he has been released by his therapist to perform live. And so technically this is going to be a live performance. I'm so excited you get to see him. He's coming back for his second time on our show. We're super excited. The lighting is incredible. You're going to love him. Please welcome Paul Wiener.
Woo.
Hopefully I'm not frozen in carbonite. You know what though? Vikram was talking about cocaine earlier, and I got asked today by somebody. They asked me if I was on cocaine. Do I look like I'm on cocaine? I was like, I don't do fucking cocaine. It fooled me into thinking I was going to get shit done. Anyway, more important note. Speaking of drugs, fucking Donald Trump, okay, is like really fucking high. I want to meet his doctors. They've mixed him up a cocktail of psychoactive steroids and fetal tissue that got him so fucking high that they found Keith Richards at an abortion clinic trying to shoot up fetuses. That's how good. That's how fucking good the fucking drugs are that they're giving Donald Trump. It's fucking crazy. Everything's crazy though. It's really good to see everybody. There's some comics coming up that I love to death. If they can hear me, I just want you to know I don't want you to die. I just love you to death. Let's be clear on that. So anyway, the election's coming up soon, and you know, I was trying to figure out who to vote for. I'm an undecided voter, and I basically decided I'm whoever's dick I'm willing to suck is who I'm going to vote for. And you know, most people are like, how the fuck do you decide that? And it's like, you know, we got Joe Biden who like, you know, like they show him in slow motion, giving people hugs and smelling their hair. And you know what? All year, I've wanted somebody to do that to me. Just hold me and smell my hair for one fucking minute. I would fucking do anything for that. And you know what? Like, I got to admit, like I got some daddy issues. So he's pushing it there too, you know what I mean? So, but then I really thought about it and I was like, you know, Trump might have like an orange skin tone, and I've heard he has mushroom cock, and he's got COVID, and he's ugly, but he pays really well for blowjobs. So I need my stimulus. And I would go down on him like a pigeon in the fucking park, just fucking, you know, or like bobbing for apples with my hand behind my back. Just, I mean, I need the fucking money. 4 more years, okay, I can handle it for what? Stormy got $168,000. I would do it for $168 at this point. It's crazy. I mean, COVID and the quarantine have just changed the world for me. I have a 90-year-old grandmother. She's my Jewish grandmother. She was liberated from a concentration camp when she was 15 years old. She just turned 90. And they finally let me go see her at the senior center. And as I was, you know, I was so excited. As I was going in, the doctor like grabbed me and he's like, listen, I got to tell you something really important. Your grandmother has ADD. And I was like, how does a 90-year-old woman get attention deficit disorder? And they go, well, these old people, they watch Fox News all day long and they're constantly switching the narrative to keep up with Trump. So the old people all have ADD now. And I was like, okay, we'll deal with that. It's better than dementia. And then he stops and he goes, but that's not the bad news. He goes, she also has HDD. And I was like, my grandma's in high definition? What's going on? He's like, no, she has Holocaust denier disorder. Now, I don't know how this happened, but when I went to go see her, the first thing she says to me is, how's my little proud boy? And I'm just like, oh my God. She starts screaming, make Germany great again. And I'm like, Grandma, look, we're Jewish. I got to make it come close in the bad dimly light here in the bottom of the institution I'm residing in the basement. I'm like, Grandma, we're Jewish. And she says, no, we're not. We're not Jewish. We're gonna make Germany great again. And I said, Grandma, you have tattoos on your arm. You have numbers on your arm. What do you think that's from? She goes, those are my lucky numbers that they gave me. So that's been my 2020. You know what I mean? It's just a total clusterfuck. Here I am now, this Jew that my grandma thinks. I mean, look at me. Do I look Jewish, or do I look like the guy that would have shot my grandma in the concentration camp? I pretty much look like the guy that would have shot my grandma in the concentration camp. And I've considered it now because she's got this HDD. So I'm stuck too. Like most of you guys are probably out of work. Work's been really tough. And, you know, I tried to find a job. So I got a job as a bouncer at Applebee's. Because that's basically all I'm qualified to do. You know, it's either like kill my grandma in a concentration camp or work as a bouncer at an Applebee's. So if you're, by the way, if you're in the neighborhood, you know, come visit, you know, bring your mask. I do the mask check. And you know what I want to know though? What is an Applebee? Because it does, like I've heard of killer bees, and they're scary. And then there's like Cardi B, very scary. And then there's herpes, which will fucking sting. So you gotta be careful with that. It's crazy, you know? COVID, herpes, it's all fucking, it's just, the world's ending. The world as we know it is ending, and I'm really digging it though. I feel like I was made for this. Like, I love Valerie talking about, she's like, certified punk rocker. It's like, yeah, nihilistic. It's like I was made for end times. You know, it's like I grew up in the Reagan era of anarchy and peace, which makes no fucking sense. It doesn't exist, but here we are. Here we are with the end of the world, doing live comedy streaming here, and it's crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm really glad to see you guys though. I don't even know if the clock's running. I do want to leave you guys. So, I do want to leave you guys with this, so that, you know, I try really hard to offend people, but I can't. You know what I mean? It's like, at best, I might be insensitive, you know? So like what I say to people basically is just fuck you then, you know, just fuck you. You know, if you're not offended, you know, you should be. And I saw this guy today, he was flying a sign, and he was a total tweaker, speed fiend. And I said, I called him that, and he goes, you can't call me that. He goes, that's offensive. He goes, I'm a Mexican American. Good seeing you guys. Be kind to each other. We'll get through 2020 because 2021 is gonna fuck you in the ass.
Oh, Paul Wiener, everyone. Thank you, Paul, for warning us that 2020 is just the lube getting us ready for 2021. You heard it here first. Oh, boy. Well, we loved Rena's set so much that we're bringing her back again. So, no, we think we've sorted out the technical difficulties. Just again, making a plug for her Amazon book, Once Upon a Time, A Size Queen. I think I got that right. You can get that on Amazon, and follow her on social media. We're super excited that she's joined us tonight. Please give a big round of applause to Rena Kalm.
Is this real? Hi, anybody, everybody. Hi. Thank you so much, Valerie, for such a kind intro twice. such a generous and kind. You could have, for the second time, probably just been like, and give it up maybe for this bitch who doesn't even really have Wi-Fi. Thank you. I do have Wi-Fi because my brother has Wi-Fi and I'm living with my brother, and he has Wi-Fi because he steals it from his landlord. So we've got it covered over here, just fine. It feels great to be coming to you guys from the Texas of the Midwest, Wisconsin. They're equally obsessed with football and not wearing masks in some places. I don't know. Texas is so different. Austin is very cool, obviously, and then there is the rest of it. There's other parts that I like. There are. My last Texas memory was in Odessa, Texas. So I'm just glad that I made it to 2020 because that was fun. It was fun. People talk a lot. I started in Chicago. People talk a lot about like gun violence in Chicago, but in Odessa, Texas, my opener was, having gotten to know the locals, I opened with, hey, anybody want to go shoot a stripper after this? And everybody laughed because it was relatable, except for one lady who got upset because she is a stripper and her friend just got shot. So you got to know where you're at. Welcome to the internet. I feel good because truly nothing has prepared me better for the apocalypse than dedicating my entire life to stand-up comedy. It's working out pretty well. This is pretty much how it's supposed to be, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was touring the country, living out of my Prius. You can check out a tour of my home on YouTube, a Cribs video that I made. It's a Prius, so it's pretty quick. It's a pretty quick tour of that house. Some people think it's like, I don't know, glamorous, and they're right. You know, I don't have a kitchen or a bathroom, but I do have 4 doors, so that's pretty exciting. I'm really grateful for opportunities to perform online during all of this. At least it feels safe. I mean, it feels like the people that are eager to gather. I hope that Colton is just like, I hope that he's just like, I don't know, he's got the washboard, right? So I hope he's just like washing all those laughs off his abs. I don't know, in real life. That doesn't even make sense. But in my experience, from what I've seen, the people that are really eager to like get back into confined spaces to expel rapid amounts of respiratory droplets from their mouths in the form of laughter are mostly Trump supporters. And I have a hard time knowing I'm going to have to perform for Trump supporters, especially risking my life to do it. I have a hard time doing that because Trump supporters not only don't get most of my jokes because they're very smart, but more importantly, I could do dumb jokes, but they don't deserve to laugh. So, you know, it's a conflict. It's a real conflict of interest. How are you guys feeling about that silent majority? The silent majority that they stay silent when they're presented with a majority of the information. Is what that is how that works. You cannot convince me that Republicans are fiscally conservative the way they spend money on signs and flags. The silent majority just painted it on a barn. You know what I mean? Like, that's not your barn. Okay. I think that this is great. This is a great thing that we have from technology, but otherwise I feel like technology has made us, I don't know if it's better. It's changed us. I think we're entirely too dependent. My vibrator broke. And I had a real question of like conscience, like, can I possibly risk the life of an Amazon factory worker to reach up to that top shelf to get that new discount vibrator, as I'm not going to spend money on anyway. caught myself looking lustfully at my toothbrush. But technology has changed us in a really weird series of ways. Like I used to know all my friends' phone numbers by heart, and now I don't have friends. So weird. One thing that is changing, I guess, I heard they were going to do this BC19. They were going to take away likes on Instagram and not Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Like you can still like people's stuff, but you can't see how many likes people get. And I think it's good. It's to prevent bullying and stuff like that. And I think it would be a cool thing to at least try. And they actually know that it works. It's had a lot of success in other countries. So I'm assuming they'll try it here. They talked about it months ago. So I'm like, they'll definitely at some point give it a shot because we know it works. We have the proof. So it's like, eventually we'll get it here, like healthcare or gun control, like give it a shot, pun intended. Okay. How it is now is super messed up though, because how it is now is if you're really popular online and you get a lot of likes on Instagram, you get to be an influencer, which is very cool. Pretty cool to be an influencer if you get enough likes on Instagram. But if you get enough love in real life, you get to quit Facebook. Who's cooler? Who is cool? I'm not sad inside. I've been experimenting with different looks. This is a ponytail. I've been experimenting with my quarantine out. I used to put so much effort into my appearance. It was like fun, but also an insecurity thing. I've noticed that I used to put so much effort into getting dressed to try to make myself always look smaller. That was always the goal. Like whatever outfit turned out, it was really just like an intricate system of straps and pulleys to try to do an optical illusion thing where I was smaller than I really am. And I've lost a lot of weight now. So now that I've gotten in better shape, I just look like shit all the time. It seems easier. Maybe she's bored with it. Maybe it's quarantine. I don't know. I did paint my nails for the first time in months the other day. Yes, and what a ridiculous thing. Did anybody ever stop and be like, that's absolutely fucking ridiculous? Like, what are you doing? Be careful now that you've painted them. They look great. Try not to touch anything with your fingers. It's like the whole thing doesn't make sense. Anyway, I want to say that we've all got a lot on our minds right now. But whether you are living out of a Prius or staying with your brother or trying to figure out rent, we all have a fair right to worry about our squatters' rights. I think we're all entitled. For me, that meant going to the bathroom by the side of the road. But either way, it's a lot of core strength. Oh, I wanted to share this. I'll say this and then I'll stop. But when I was in Odessa, there was 4 people at the show. It was really fun. And at one point I did a joke about catcalling, I think, and I said something about a place being progressive, and this guy got really like grumpy with me as soon as I said progress or progressive. He got all like arms crossed, angry with me, and I stopped the show because he was the whole audience, and I stopped the show and I was like, I'm sorry, is there a problem? He's like, yeah, well, we're Trump supporters. And I was like, okay, well, whatever your definition of the word, let's just take a moment to remember that progress is good. Progress, the idea, a good thing. And then I just kept on with the show and told an amazing number of dick jokes. But I just want to point out that that man did not have teeth. So you take what you get. And I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for Valerie for hosting, and fuck you, Colton. I'm just kidding. Don't tell him I said that.
you, Rena? How dare you say that to me? Oh, that's me channeling Colton. Everybody knows he doesn't really get that angry. I mean, I haven't seen it. Are you going to go buy her book? You should buy her book. It's on Amazon. Rena's great. And I was trying to think of something around progressives, but you know, the only thing I can think of is the insurance. And I wonder if Flo is really the one who fucked up the word progressive for everybody. It's just a theory that I have because people don't like her that much, do they? I don't know. Let's ponder that. Actually, let's put a pin on that thought and let's get ready to welcome for, I don't know, maybe third time back. Super excited from the great state of New Jersey. Who doesn't love New Jersey? Isn't that where Governor Christie is from? Oh, let's not bring it down. Speaking of progressives. Goodness. All right. Well, we are super excited to have our next guest back on the show. She is from New Jersey. She's been on, she's performed at the New York Comedy Club. She was recently on the Concourse Comedy Fest. Say that 3 times fast. Super excited. She's a talented artist and she's really, really funny. Please welcome Kate Hester.
Hi guys, thank you so much. I loved how you just busted out laughing at the mention of the state of New Jersey. You know, we're always the punchline. And I just ordered myself a mask with the state of New Jersey seal on it. So I don't know what that says about me. But anyway, so at the start of all this virus madness, my boyfriend went out and bought all this sherry and port and cognac for some reason. So I've been quarantined with Frasier this whole time, pretty much. He's a musician. I always end up with musicians. My ex-husband was a musician. All the idiots that came in between were musicians. And now I got the current one. I've ingested so much musician semen in my adult years that I should just be able to pick up a guitar and play Wonderwall without ever receiving a single lesson. I got a mammogram a few weeks ago. You got to do that as you get older. Everything was fine. The doctor said my breasts were very dense. And I was like, give them a break. They went to art school, okay? Like, they don't all grow up to be doctors, all right? He told me I needed to drink more milk. So I haven't had a glass of milk in 20 years. So I went out and I bought a carton of milk, and there's no more missing kids on the sides of milk cartons anymore. Like, why not? Like, did they find them all? Found all the kids, you found them. Don't have to look anymore. Sonic recently announced its new cake batter milkshake because that's where we are as a society now. We're just drinking cake batter. I got up at 5 a.m. the other day. I was like, oh my God, I'm never up this early. I should go jogging or something. Except I was still drunk and also throwing up in the bathroom sink. When a vegan woman gives birth to a baby, do you think she's disappointed that it's made out of real human meat? Do you think she was like, I was hoping for one of those Beyond babies, you know? Whenever I see a woman with a set of twins, I think to myself, I bet the dumber one is for spare parts. I have a lot of female friends who are into witchcraft. I don't know why, maybe it's just an artsy lady thing, but I've got a lot of friends who are like, I'm a witch. And it's like, all right, Rebecca, that's great. Knock yourself out, whatever makes you happy. But if I had one dude friend that was like, I'm a wizard, I'd be like, oh yeah, Mike, you're a fucking wizard. You're a fucking idiot is what you are, all right? Jeez. So I'm having sex with the human resources guy at my job. Woo, yes. It's a good gig if you can get it. If you can get the guy who gives lectures on sexual harassment to squeeze your ass in the break room, get away with whatever you want. I'm late every day. I'm the one that's always eating everybody's yogurts from the fridge. You could keep leaving those Post-it notes all you want. Actually, none of that's true. Well, it's true that I'm banging the HR guy, but he's been the boyfriend of 10 years and I never got away with shit. Get away with far less than everybody else, actually. And now because of the virus, he's been furloughed. So he's no longer the HR guy. Now he's just the janitor of our house. So I've been back at work for a few weeks now. And they've been taking everybody's temperatures with those gun style thermometers that they point at your head, which I was surprised when I found that out because the security guard at my job's been checking mine rectally this whole time. So we had to have an awkward conversation about that. I couldn't even complain to HR because he's downstairs on the couch playing Wonderwall. I had a job a few years back where my boss was from like a vastly different culture. So he would always say this really inappropriate stuff to me. So, because there was no political correctness from where he came from. So one day he comes out with, "Hey, Kate, did you ever wonder why your boyfriend doesn't want to marry you?" And I was like, "Oh, this is going to be good." And I was like, "Okay, well, why? Why doesn't my boyfriend want to marry me?" And he goes, "Because he knows you've been divorced. He knows you've been with another man." And I was like, okay, Muhammad thinks that I've only had sex with 2 guys my entire life. I was like, dude, I've had a turnstile put in on this thing, okay? Like all you need is a Metro card and you can just swipe it on through. Ask me about the rideshare program. If my boyfriend doesn't want to marry me, it's because of the Watch the Gap sign. And the rats and the construction guys wearing helmets. This is all like a New York City subway joke. Hills up here. It's one of my best jokes up here, I swear. Everyone in Texas is like, what? Anyway, I was told the other day that I look like a young Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I was conflicted about that compliment. It's like, yes, she's the greatest woman of our time, but no, nobody thinks about her when they're jerking off. Speaking of feminism, why are there no lady burglars in the ADT home invasion commercials? Like what? Feminism's not there yet? Like I can't break into your house and fuck shit up? I can. I mean, I might need help getting your TV out of your house, but I can do it. I could smash your family portrait. They always take the extra 2 seconds to show the smashed family portrait, you know, as if burglars are that detail oriented, you know. I actually had 3 guys break into my apartment last summer. It was this room right here. Actually, my bedroom is the next room. This is a good thing about these Zoom shows is that you get to be like, it actually happened here. So my bedroom is right there and it was like 3:30 in the morning and I hear the window that's right here open up. And I was like, that's funny. Either my stray cats are suddenly much stronger or someone's coming into my fucking house. So I get up, I run into the next room, I flip the light on and I see a white guy, a black guy, and a Latino guy climbing into my art studio. And I was like, holy shit. Check out the diversity on you guys. It's like so nice to see in Trump's America, 3 young men from different backgrounds coming together to accomplish something, you know? Like where the hell did you guys meet? The United Nations of Home Invasion? Like, what are you fucking besties from burglary college? Jesus Christ. Luckily they ran right out the window again upon seeing me in my underwear. They were like, holy shit, it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg in her underwear. Let's get out of here. So I actually have one of these super militant feminist friends. I don't know if you guys have any of those. They spell women differently. Like instead of WOMEN, it's like MXN or MYN. So she's on the internet the other day saying that she's locked in her bathroom because there's a mouse in the kitchen and she has to wait for her husband to get home to get the mouse. And I was like, I think you have to go back to spelling women the normal way. I don't think you're allowed to be insane feminist and afraid of mice at the same time. I don't think those two go hand in hand. So anyway, that's my time. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate being here, and I hope you have me back again.
What a great show we're having, don't you think? If you think so, and I think so, I think everybody thinks so, then, donate to our Comedy Wham PayPal, because we will share the donations that you make with all of the comics that you see tonight. And isn't that worth it? I mean, if you're just home in your pajamas on the couch or even in your bed, then, why wouldn't you donate a little bit of money? It's like paying for, well, no, I'm not going to go there. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, donate. And then if you particularly love somebody, then you can see right down there, you can donate to their Venmo and show them a little extra love. I think we're halfway through the show tonight. It's been fantastic. And I'm excited. We've had some folks from all over the country, and we're about to have somebody again from Austin, Texas, right here. And she's been on the show before. We really, really love her. And I think if you haven't gotten to see her before, you're going to love her too. She's working on becoming a ninja. I'm calling her out. She's been taking jujitsu classes, so don't mess with her. But really, she's been doing comedy for just over a year now. It must be more than a year now, because she's been saying that in her credits since we started back in March. So it's got to be over a year now. Heading towards 2, and she's getting ready to launch a podcast. Maybe she didn't want me to say that she was going to do it, but I'm calling her out now and saying that she's about to launch a podcast. So there you go. Now she has to do it. All right, please everybody give a big hand to our next comic, Katie Felton.
They really love me. Yeah, I always feel like I need to launch a podcast just so I can have credits for people to boast about me, but hasn't happened yet. Maybe it'll just be the credits to Katie podcast. That'll eventually happen. As Valerie said, I am doing jujitsu now. I started in February, but have been getting more into it as of recently. So I'm thinking after quarantine, I'm just going to shave my head and go by Joe Rogan. So my comedy career. I am 31 now and doing some introspection at getting older. I do feel like now I'm starting to feel my age. I have always felt young up until this point, but starting to feel more out of touch with the youth. My knees are creaking a little bit more than they used to. And so I downloaded an app that just daily reminds me, like my internal clock is ticking, my biological clock is ticking, my eggs are drying up. The name is pretty fitting. It's called TikTok. If you're feeling old, don't download that. But if you do have it, follow me at the same handle as my Instagram. what else has been happening? I've been talking to my mom every day in quarantine. I walk my dog and then I talk to my mom. And without a doubt, within the first 5 minutes of our conversation, she has to hand the phone to my dad to use the restroom. So I've been Pavlovian conditioning her to use the bathroom, which is great, but I'm also nervous because I'm going over to my parents' house, which they live in Scottsdale, mid-November to December. So I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna miss the whole trip with her because she'll be in the bathroom the whole time. Yeah, it's gonna be upsetting, but it'll also be better because then I won't have to spend a whole month with my parents the whole time. I am doing jujitsu, which is like pretty intense, and I guess I'm like strangely drawn to combat exercises. Like I used to do roller derby, which is pretty aggressive, which is interesting because I'm not that aggressive in my real life. I think I'm just probably overcompensating for something. But if you don't know, in roller derby, you have to come up with a fun nickname, which they like announce you and they call you as you're rolling around. Usually it has to do with some of your likes or interests or personality. My birthday is St. Patrick's Day, so I wanted to do something that was like related to the Irish. So I picked leprechaun. Yeah, it was fun. I learned a lot doing roller derby. I made some good friends. I learned how to check some girls. And mostly I learned when you invite people to call you a cunt, they take advantage of it. I too have lost weight in quarantine. I lost 15 pounds, which has been, thank you, exciting, but also the worst time to glow up because nobody notices. Like you're seeing people every day. You only get this little square space. And since I don't want to be like, look at me, I don't bring it up. So I'm thinking I'm just going to chop off my head so people will notice. And that's an easy 15 pounds to lose. So 30 pounds and I'm just 10 away from my goal weight then. And then Vikram's sister and I could be like the Dr. Atkins of the just chop off your limbs diet, I think. We'll sell bars or something. I don't know. It is interesting. I recently got back on the dating apps. Like I took a break with COVID. I was like, what's the point? But now I'm back. But like I said, weight loss hasn't been enough to be noticeable. So my pictures are still my old pictures. And I get messages from guys being like, oh, do you do like kinky stuff? Because I am a little bit bigger. The stereotype is that like big girls are freakier in the bedroom. So that's been a little discouraging because now I realize I have to lose like 100 pounds so people know this is missionary position only. Yeah, I just really, I'm doing the extra weight loss to really let the message sink in. Dating is just like weird these days because I went on a date recently and the one question like all my dates have asked me are what's the worst date you've ever been on? Which I think is an interesting question because most of the time the guy's response when they're for their worst date is that like the girl didn't look like her pictures and she was heavier than her picture showed or older than her picture showed. And in comparison, my worst date experience was that upon meeting him, he immediately told me that he doesn't pay for girls on the first date because it's never worked out for him in the past. just a real red flag of that his personality couldn't get him over the finish line in that spot. And he had picked a Chili's to go to, so I don't think he's really going to be breaking the bank with those Southwest chicken egg rolls. But I was like, okay, that's fine. We can, like, you know, people have different quirks. I'll give it a go. And then later into the date, he told me that he doesn't think Sandy Hook happened and our government is run by lizard people. Yeah. I think that's why girls are heavier than their pictures, is because they are eating their feelings after going. I like to think of myself as kind of an intuitive, like instinctual, psychic-y kind of person. Not that I'm like witchy, like Katie was saying, or Kate was saying, but just, you know, I like to predict the future. So I brought some predictions for the rest of 2020 because, you know, if it's going to get weirder, let's really lean into it. And I brought my predictions for you guys today. So Valerie, could you help me out by picking a color? Their choices are blue, pink, green, or red.
Let's go with pink.
Okay, pink. P-I-N-K. Your number choices are 1, 2, 5, or 6.
Ooh, let's go with 6, Katie.
6. Oh, okay. Pence's head fly is going to win the presidency. It happens. You heard it here first. Yeah, and that's gonna be it for me.
Oh, I wish I could get a do-over on that predicting the future. I don't want Mike Pence's fly. Wait, which fly? Am I right? Ladies. No, I'm sorry. Look, all joy has ended because of this political debate season. We're not even going to have a third political debate, which, you know, strikes all of the joy out of every troll on Twitter, because you know that third debate was going to be the source of a million memes, and now it's just going to put the meme business out of business. All right, that was pretty weak. Thank you, Jared, for the courtesy laugh. Okay, well, we're super excited to have a comic from Denver up next. This is fun, and we know that this is all of Colton's connections because he has all of his friends up in Denver. So we're pretty excited to have him on. You can follow him on Instagram. You'll see his credits and on his title card when he's on. But also be sure to check out his podcast called Get Home Safe. It's all on the all of the usual podcast sources for you. Please give a big round of applause and welcome to Eland Stribling.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My screen is not balanced. I'm Elan Striblin. I'm from Denver. I am drinking tonight. I usually, people ask me like, hey, do you drink when I'm in public? I say no, so I can make myself seem better than them. But I do like to drink alone, and this is isolation comedy. So cheers to getting hammered. Also, my girlfriend is on her way over, and you know she doesn't really like when I drink. the reason she says that is because she says, you know, when I'm a little bit tipsy, I make the same noises during sex as I do as eating a good cookie. I was like, baby, what are you talking about? And she's like, you always bite a cookie and you go, um, I mean, good snickerdoodle will do that to you, you know? So that's, I mean, that's, and if it's not snickerdoodle, I'll go peanut butter. But like, you know, like when you put a cookie in the microwave and like the outside is hard and the inside is soft and you can kind of push your, I'll fuck a cookie. I will fuck a cookie gladly. So we're getting hammered before she comes over, but you know, I just want to, I'll just say this. You know, there's a lot of people of European descent here tonight. You know, and I'll just say, you know, you guys are, I know you're having a tough go at things and it seems like people are mad at you, but hang in there, you know. I don't know if it'll get better for white people today or tomorrow or the next couple 100 years, but I want you to know that you will survive. Pick a theme song and make it your ballad. And I realized, you know, white people tried to do something slick. They tried to solve racism, and I commend them. They just made Jake from State Farm black, and thought that was going to solve everything. I've never met a nigga named Jake once. I've never once met a black guy named Jake. I know a bunch of Jays. I don't know any Jakes. So you know, it's okay. And I'm in Denver, and I like to travel a bit. And I thought, you know, of course, there's more places in the country that are a little bit more diverse. But I went up to Montana recently, and Montana's like, you know, blueprint white. Like it's like origin story white. It's so white that all their construction workers were white. You know, like, well, I'll re-say that. All their construction workers don't make good green chili. You know, they don't have pretty good green chili recipes. But enough about that. No, okay. I have one more kind of political thing. I keep seeing all these big American flags, and I had the thought the other day, and I was like, an extra large American flag is like the same exact thing as a small Confederate flag. You know, like why don't you just save the space? Those are equally, in my eyes. If you have an extra large USA flag, you have a very small Confederate flag. It balances out. All right. I'm glad I finished school before COVID started. I graduated from college, graduated from CSU here, and we used to have these people that would come on our campus and try to like teach us about different religions. And I love learning about different people's cultures. But on my last day of class, this guy came up to me and he said, "Hey man, do you believe in heaven and hell?" I'm like, "Absolutely, you know, 100% with all my heart." He's like, "God forbid, I don't want this to happen, but God forbid, if you were walking across the street and you got hit by a bus, where do you think you would go?" And I was like, I don't know, 30 feet down the road. Like, how fast is the bus moving? You know, does our Lord and Savior believe in physics? And then they gave me my degree. They said, there you go. So if you want to go to easy school, it's in Colorado. I know people are really caring about the environment, which is important. I'm a wildlife biologist, and I know people are caring about the environment and sea life and stuff. But a big argument that people have is about, sea animals choking. But I genuinely believe, I'm pretty sure there's a sea turtle out there that likes to be choked. Like that's kind of like that's its kink. He's using a single-use plastic straw and it swims up on shore and it's like, or or a dolphin that's like, I don't know how a dolphin sounds like, but I think there's some perverted animals out there. That's the end of that. I want to see what kind of kinks a turtle has. That scared the hell out of me. Yeah. I can translate that for you, and that pretty much just means not too hard, but just I want to feel the pressure, but not in danger. I think coronavirus has been actually a little bit good for me. I was kind of dealing with a porn addiction kind of the beginning of this year, and kind of being isolated and have to deal with my demons. I was able to kind of think about some things, and I realized, I realized how bad it was affecting me, because it would change my brain. I would be Googling something and just like the thought of porn, like I would be Googling like how to make the best baked potato POV, you know, like it was very, I was very kind of perverted in my ways. And let's be honest, masturbation is just like riding a tandem bicycle, but by yourself. Like it's definitely meant for two people, and it's a lot sadder if you see one person doing it alone. Um, and I'm actually, you know, because I've kind of gotten over this the past couple months, I'm writing a book about kind of getting off porn called Off the Beaten Path. Okay. Thank you. That's my, I don't know if I have any more one-liners. But another hobby I picked up kind of during coronavirus times is I really got into vacuuming. You know, I really got into vacuuming. It's like a weird, it's like a inside the house sort of for the sort of feng shui. Uh, and I really got into it. You know, I would smoke a little weed, maybe do a little cocaine, maybe drink a little bit, and just vacuum my house aggressively. And I realized I think I think I went from porn to having a sexual desire to vacuum, and it was so bad. Like I don't know why, but if Beyonce called me and was like, "Hey, Elon, like, do you want to come over and we can, you know, make love, or would you like to, you know, vacuum my 3 million square foot house?" I would be like, you know, is it a Dyson? You know, you know, how what's the hose situation like? How many attachments do you have? I'm really big into attachments. If you have a lot of attachments, then that's a pretty quality fucking vacuum. Um, let's see. I like I said, I just got back from Montana, and I probably had the scariest landing. I flew from Montana back to Denver, and I had the scariest landing I've ever had. I was flying into our airport here in Denver, and the pilot comes over the intercom, and there's not that many people on the flight, and we had like these fires in Colorado and kind of the storm, so it's really cloudy. And the pilot comes over the intercom and he goes, "Excuse me, everyone. We have a really bumpy landing, so make sure you hold on." But you know, that wasn't the scary part. The scary part was that he left the intercom on, so we could hear him talking to the co-pilot, which is never what you want to hear, right? Like he was talking about the NBA and his kids and shit, and we're like, "Hey, man, you got to focus. Like you got one job." And so the plane's dropping, and I'm looking out of the window, and I can hear the tires of the airplane come out. You know, like the tires come out, and I hear the tires touch the tarmac, like skirt, like skirt, kind of like Cardi B. I can't do it that well, but the tires touch the tarmac, and instead of landing, we like bounce and continue to take off. And over the intercom, the pilot's like, "Yeah, fucking nope," and we just keep flying. And so I'm just happy to be here today. That's my time, folks. My name's Ian Striblin. Follow me on Instagram at Black Steve Irwin. Show some love. Thank you guys so much. I had such a fun time. Adios.
Now it all makes sense why when I was looking at Elon's Instagram, there are all these pictures of him fishing because he's a marine biologist. It all comes together. And of course, ever since he talked about the turtle, now I'm trying to, my brain is just going to marine animals and their kinks. And I'll just, you know, I'll do the thing that no comic is supposed to do to another comic is I'm just saying, think about octopus, you know. I think there's a dominatrix service there somewhere. All right, I'm sorry, Elon. Your stuff is great. All right, now I have to get into character for the introduction to our next comic because the introduction, the credits, if you can call them credits, were given to me in a very specific way. So let me be Colton for a moment. We're super excited to bring back from New York City. Oh, sorry. We're super excited to bring back from New York City. It's an amazing comic, and he is the most beautiful man. And I really want to kiss him. So there you go. That is my impression of Colton introducing our next comic from New York City, formerly from Austin. Please welcome back Jared McCorkle.
Thank you, Valerie, for that homophobic and accurate impression of Colton. I really appreciate that. That's great. I am really glad to be here. And I know it's a weird time, right? Because of all the suffering or whatever that's going on. But this is a really good time for me because it's Halloween. And I thought that I would start my set in kind of a festive way. You know, I love Halloween, and it's not just because I'm gay. That is most of it, but I love it. And here's the thing. I've loved this since I was a little kid. So I said, I want to educate myself about Halloween, about the thing. And so I am reading a book. So I'm going to start my set. It's called Trick or Treat: The History of Halloween. Now, this is exciting for me because I don't usually get to do a lot of prop stuff in my normal act. You know, I have to do it. But in this case, this is going to be really fun. And I'm going to read you part of it, and because some of it stuck out to me, and I wanted to remind you guys that a few things. I'm going to read some stuff, and I can read it because I am gay, like I said, and a bad person. And also, I want to remind you guys that I did not write this book. Okay, so here we go. And to give you some background, what's really interesting about Halloween, I found out, is that it's always been celebrated for a long time, since it's like dawn, since it was like Samhain or Samhain or whatever it is, with like the bonfires and like the burning of bundles of sticks. That's been at bundles of sticks, big on fire, big part of it. So I read, this is a description from like 1879 in Scotland. I'm not going to do the accent, but just plug it in. So on the evening of the 31st of October, one remarkable ceremony is observed. Heath, broom, and dressings of flax are tied upon a pole. This faggot is then kindled. One takes it upon his shoulders and, running, bears it round the village. A crowd attend. When the first faggot is burnt out, a second is bound to the pole and kindled in the same manner as before. Numbers of these blazing faggots are often carried about together, and when the night happens to be dark, they form a splendid illumination. This is Halloween, and is a night of great festivity. Sorry, and then it just says faggot 7 times. Now, here's the thing. This is not my autobiography. I know it seems like that, but it isn't. And I just thought that was lovely for a couple of reasons. One, it forced me to look up what this must mean. And I was pretty sure, but I just want to make sure. And I was really excited about this, is that when I was a kid, I used to look up that word in the dictionary, you know, every day. And what it started with bundle of sticks, and then it would say gay man. And I looked on the internet and it said gay man first. So moving up in the world, I feel like that's very important. Okay. So happy Halloween is what I wanted to tell you guys. What else can I say? I will say this. I have an anxiety disorder, apparently, which is not bad, but I've been reading about it, and part of it was is intrusive thoughts. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, intrusive thoughts, which is dumb to me as a name, because I feel like all my thoughts have always been intrusive. Like, isn't that kind of how thoughts are supposed to work? Like, do you invite any of your thoughts? Have you been like, oh no, I gave them permission to be here? Like, and I understand that's literal, but to me, it is a terrifying person that looks inside the contents of their consciousness and doesn't feel a bit intruded by it. If they're just like, oh, this is wonderful, this is beautiful shit. So that as the thing. Now, okay, so the reason that I've been so anxious, I guess, for the last year, and this is, by the way, you're going to be sad for me for part of this, but then it's going to get you're going to laugh at me a lot, and it's going to be really fun, is that I had a really bad breakup. It was really hard. And first of all, let me say, like, I'm talking to almost all of you to relate to this. And if you've never been dumped before, you're not even a person. You think you are, you're not. And you are. So I'm just going to talk to the normal people who've had a really bad breakup. And when you're dealing with this, your friends and family are all going to say the same thing to you, because you're going to imagine that, you know, that person has a better life now, and they're with like somebody who's better, and they're happy and everything like that. And you're going to believe your friends when they tell you that that's all in your head, until you open up, you see an article in the Washington Post that has your ex-boyfriend and his new fiance kissing really happy. And it's going to turn out, and by the way, fiance is a French word. I assume it means pedophile. I don't know, but it's really fucked up. And here's the thing. They are together. And what kills me about that, honestly, is that like, I thought print media was dead. First of all, honestly, but Satan brought it back to ruin my life apparently. And I don't understand it. And okay, so here's that might seem weird. Like, why is he on the Washington Post? It's because apparently there was this thing called hashtag Proud Boys. Have you guys are familiar with like the Nazi people or whatever? Proud Boys. So this was a thing that gay men did where they like, I guess like we're trying to co-opt that to like piss the Proud Boys off or whatever. And like, which just bothers me because like, honestly, usually when there's like a really bad breakup or whatever, you can be like, oh, I'm not happy. But it's like the article literally said like perfect, beautiful gay man and his relationship destroys hate. And like, just, that's not fair. A couple things too, is it said that he fought hate with this, like, but I have to say he created some hate too. Like, I'm just saying a little bit of hate in me. So that's the thing. It also puts me in a really awkward position. You know what I mean? Because like, I have to root a little bit for the Proud Boys now. Like, not totally, but like at least to that degree, you know, because I mean, if you think about it, like, because like, let's say there was a situation where he and his fiance were like hanging out, you know, and some Proud Boys came up, you know, and I'm there and, you know, I'm not stalking him. I'm just like outside his house for some reason. And there's like a fucking Proud Boy and the Proud Boy is like, you know, like, you two shouldn't be together or whatever. I would be obligated to be like, yes, correct. Not for that reason, but just I'm not with you. So I'm just saying, I don't really have a good way to end this, but you know, I'm happy for him, I think is what I'm trying to get to. I will say, I'm just going to shift gears and talk about something that's not as bad, but the whole Trump getting COVID thing. Here, I don't know, do you want him to die? I don't think I want him to die. I really don't. What I would like instead is if he would just slip into like a beautiful coma, you know, just like a coma for like 5 months, and it's just wonderful. And then we could put him like in a sarcophagus, you know, and just an awesome golden sarcophagus, just like filled with diamonds and everything like that. And then we could just put that at the bottom of like the Marianas Trench or whatever, where he could sleep the sleep of the innocent, you know, until he's dead. And I think that'd be great. It really, by the way, this isn't so much a joke, is that like the people that thought it was a hoax, like that is the saddest form of liberalism to me, is that the first thing that you think is that he made that up. And what it is it's just this feeling you have that like even nature won't allow good things to happen. Which I thought was crazy because like we had been telling everybody, rightfully so, that this was an infectious disease that was like airborne, or at least like your air spittle. And this moron never wears a mask and he has contempt for the idea, but then he gets sick and like, I don't know, it's probably not that. That's probably not. It's probably his mastermind plan. But yeah, do I have anything else? Sure. I'm sure I have more important things. I'll say, I want to say this just because I thought it was hilarious. This is very new. This is something somebody told me right before the show, which was that, and she's a lovely person, but it was, if you cut your hair, you should think about donating your hair to just donate it. Which to me is like my wiry gray hair. That's what I should donate to Locks of Love, I guess, in case they know any like ghost children who had chemo in the underworld and lost all their hair, and they still want to look beyond the grave, but like not like gross and bald or something like that. So yeah, I guess that's a good work I could do on Halloween. And I'm gonna end on a joke I often do, but it's mostly for Halloween, just because I think like it's appropriate. And because it's about death, and I think about death a lot, because I'm fun, and what it is. I want to know what's going to happen to my body when I die, and the reason I want to know is because like my grandmother died, and she got buried, and I knew her for a long time, and she never asked to be buried, and it's just the default setting, and so I have what I want to happen. I don't want to be buried. I have a way better idea. I want to be like scattered just like on a beach somewhere. But I don't want to be cremated. That's what I would like, is to have my body cut up into several like softball sized chunks and just like scattered in front of some rich douchebag's Palm Beach condo, because I think that would be really fun for me. Thank you so much. This was really fun. Give it up for Valerie.
Give it up for Jared, bringing us down, talking about death. Oh goodness, I did want to make a one fact check to Jared's set. He talked about fiance, and he said that that was French for pedophile. As a native French speaker, I would like to correct Jared and say that fiance actually means pedophile. So just wanted to correct him
That's great.
on that. It's important that we're all as accurate as possible on a comedy show, especially one that's online, because there's never going to be any proof of this ever existed. Please know that if you are watching this and you miss an old show, you can actually catch archived episodes on YouTube, Twitch, your memories, your distant memories. What, producer? How much time do we have left? No, sorry. Bootleg DVDs, yes, all of it. VHS tapes, even the Betamax tapes. All right, I've gone down a wormhole. Let's let's move on. We have one more comic for the night, and I'm super excited that she has set some time to join us tonight. She's been on the show before. We were actually her very first online show. And one of my favorite memories of that show is that she had this really glamorous gold curtain behind her. And since then, she's done a whole bunch of other online shows, and she's back to doing live shows. And sadly for Austin, she has moved, but lucky for LA, she is now in LA. And I'm super, super happy that she's joined us tonight. She has an album out. It is fantastic. Go check it out. It is called Trash Baby. And it's just one of the best albums of, see, that came out in 2019, I think. She will fact check me for sure. Please give it up, everybody.
Okay. Hi. How's it going, y'all? It's so funny that Valerie would mention like my glamorous backdrop, you know, in my affordable Austin home where like I could make it comfortable. Now you guys can see the shitty digital backdrop because I live in poverty. I don't want you guys to see how I live. Why would I do this to myself? Who moves to LA in a pandemic? I hate it. It's on fire. Please, somebody get me. Okay. I'm done. I got that out of my system. I got it out of it. Okay, here's the thing, is I'm spoiled. I didn't know how spoiled I was until I got here, because you don't think, like coming from Texas, especially if you're not a person with money in Texas, you don't realize how broke you actually are. Because Texas okay is LA broke. Like the kind of apartment I can afford here, like I didn't even know, did you know they don't have central air? Like, okay, sorry, air conditioner that you can feel everywhere is called central air, okay? And not everyone gets that. In California, you get a box that spits on you, and that is called air conditioning. And you have to stand directly in front of it to feel that cool spit. That is the only time you feel hydrated at all. You are just so dry and so thirsty all the time. There is water here. Sorry, I'm making it sound like the state of California will let me have water. I'm sorry. It's been wild. It's been an interesting culture shock. I'm still working a day job. When I don't do comedy, I work at a cosmetics store, which is a very dangerous place to be right now, honestly. People are not great at wearing their masks. When I see the way people wear masks, I'm like, this is why birth control fails. They are like, it's not just that they don't, like, I feel like in Texas, people just don't want to wear their mask. In California, they confidently wear it wrong. Like I see them put it on and then like it maybe halfway goes up their nose and they go, oop, nope, got it. And they stop it right under the nose like they think it goes that way. It's in the shock. They're just so comfortable with it. They get way too close to me. And then, okay, this is an overgeneralization, but I'm just going to say it. I'm probably going to annoy the hell out of anyone from California, but like Californians are a little slow, just a little bit. I've just been asked some of the most genuinely stupid questions I've ever heard in my life, day after day. Day one, I was selling this woman some skincare products. She asked me about a face wash. She goes, now this is the face wash, right? And I said, yes. And she goes, do I wash it off or leave it on? I just hate when someone asks me a question where the answer is just repeating their question. So I was like, do you wash the face wash? It's a wash for your face. So yes, you do what? Face wash. There we go. Like, I hate that. I know I'm going to get complaints. I am going to get fired for being rude as fuck. Yesterday, this guy asked me for a single eyeshadow, and then I showed him where they were. And then he came back and goes, is this a single eyeshadow? And I was like, how many are in your hand? And he was like, one. And I was like, and one is singular. There we go. I can't help it. I don't know how to talk to someone who I'm not sure. Like, and everyone can't be high. They can't be high. Maybe they're high. Maybe everyone's high and I just don't know how to recognize the signs. And I could save myself a lot of time by not being around people. I don't know. To me, these are devastatingly stupid questions. I'm sure there's somebody in the audience who's just like, what? You do wash face wash off? I don't know. To me, these are just easy things. But yeah, it's been a lot going on all at once. But I've been thinking a lot. I've had a lot to think about. I love, even though things are crazy right now, and we've got a very important election coming upon us, I am proud to be an American. I really am. I'm so proud to be an American because we have the best anthems. America has the best anthems. We have the best songs that make you feel like you can do anything. Eye of the Tiger, The Final Countdown. When you hear stuff like that, you're like, I can make it through. And I think the reason why we have that is because our healthcare is shitty. You need a song to listen to on the Lyft ride to the ER. Like when I'm about to bleed out in the back of an Uber, I want to hear Living on a Prayer. I can't listen to a Canadian anthem for that. I can't imagine listening to Alanis Morissette talk about the one time things were weird. I need to hear something that says you're gonna make it. All right, you're halfway there. That's what I need to hear. I love a good anthem. I love good American music. During the beginning of quarantine, one of my favorite singers of all time died, and I was very sad. But I feel like she's underappreciated because I feel like not a lot of people knew who she was. Betty Wright. Are you guys familiar with Betty Wright? No, there's white people in here. No. Every time I say Betty Wright, y'all are like, Betty White died? I'm like, no, all right, listen to that R. Betty Wright, soul singer, absolute talent. She died at the beginning of quarantine, I think the same week as Little Richard. And I don't think people made a big enough deal about it. She was such a talented writer. If you don't know her, you know this song. Her big song was called The Cleanup Woman. And she's like, cleanup woman is a woman who gets all your man's love. I'm not going to sing because I'm not a great singer, but the point of the song is this beautiful imagery because she talks about how the cleanup woman sweeps your man off his feet. Come on, great pun there. And takes all the love you leave behind. I was like, this is actually really well written. So one day I was driving and I decided to listen to her whole catalog. And I found her album from 1974. And it had The Cleanup Woman, a song about a man being taken by a woman who cleans up. But it also had a song called The Secretary, which is a song about Betty Wright losing her man to his secretary. And I was like, hold up, that's very similar premises. I look at it, they both came out the same year. So I was like, this is the same dude. He cheated on you with the cleaning lady and his secretary. And then I keep looking, and not only is the secretary a song, the cleaning lady, the cleanup woman's a song. There's also a song called, you guessed it, The babysitter. The babysitter. Why the God? First of all, he shouldn't even be home when the babysitter's home. That's the point, is for the babysitter to take care of the kid when you can't be there. I don't like, Betty must have been so stressed. She wrote I forgot about the fourth one. Her fourth song is called Your Best Friend. The descent of this is horrible. At one point, these women aren't even employed. They're just any woman you're like, can you imagine being this stressed out dating somewhere you just don't know where this is gonna go? Like, if you like, I would love to hear the B-sides, because back in the day, like, songs would make the record, but then there'd be songs that wouldn't make the record. Like, what if she wrote a song that was like, don't trust the bitch at the ATM? You know, like, how stressed out was she? What was every day like? You know, was she just like, I know that's not your cousin. I know that's not your cousin, because cousins don't hug like that. I don't know, just the thought. Just the thought of how stressful it was to keep a man in the 70s. I'm so glad we have social media, and it's so much easier to catch them cheating. So you don't have to worry that they're with the meter maid all the time. Like, it just sounds stressful. I don't want that problem. I'm speaking from a very cocky place because I have a good husband, so I can just say whatever I want. I do. I have the best husband in the world. He's really nice. He's really supportive. He's great. Honestly, the only thing I realized I didn't like about him is, like, I love him, but I don't think I'm meant to be married to him all day. Like, I don't like, I was born in 1989. We're living in 2020. I just think a 24-hour marriage isn't supposed to work. I think you're supposed to have a 9-to-5 marriage. Like, the opposite. You wake up, you're married until you go to work, and then you go to work and you're married when you get home. But being married all day is really tiring. Like, just listening to someone ask you where the breadcrumbs are 3 times a day, I don't like it. I'm not just the same place breadcrumbs are always at, you know? I don't know. I love him, but I think I want to go back to a non-quarantine marriage real soon. I literally want to be like, we need to see other people. Literally, I need to see people, like, at least half their faces. I need out. How much more time do I have? Am I done? Okay, so am I done, or do I have one more minute? Okay. One more thing I was thinking about recently that just kind of made me laugh, and this is really dark, and I hope this doesn't make all of your fans hate me. But listen, I don't like how conservatives are so obsessed with how late of an abortion they think we can get. Like, what is that? They have it in their mind that we just, like, shoot a baby in the back when they run in an alley like Ricky from Boys in the Hood. Like, they have it in their mind that, like, what is this fascination with aborting fully born? We're not doing that. No one is just like birthing a baby and being like, never mind, you're done being alive. Like, the dramatics around how late they think we can get abortions is crazy. I don't know. That was just something I wanted to share. The mental image of shooting a baby as it runs away from you. I'm going to hell for that. Just deeply going to all the hell. Really, we were professional right up until this point. Oh, okay. I thought that was a fan being like, we were professional, and until you threatened born babies. All right. Bye, you guys. That's my time. Thanks for listening to me be silly. Thanks. Bye.
Am I supposed to follow that up? Really? Come on. All right. If you have enjoyed tonight's show, and why wouldn't you? We've talked about abortions, pedophilia, cocaine use, Mike Pence's fly, weird S&M turtle action. We have really covered the entire spectrum on tonight's show, and we didn't even have Colton here tonight. So imagine if he had been here, what we would have talked about. You can still donate to the Comedy Wham PayPal if you loved what you saw tonight. I would love a donation so that we can share it with the comics that you saw tonight. And if you want to give a little extra love, you can Venmo each of the individual comics as well. They get to keep all of that. And we will be back in 2 Fridays with another showcase. And we're super excited about that one. That is the final night of October before Halloween. It is also the final night before all hell breaks loose with the national election. So who knows if anybody's going to be around after that night. And next week, I will be back. Sorry, everybody. I will be back next Friday with a live Comedy Wham Presents, where I will be talking one-on-one with Anna Valenzuela, who you have seen here on Isolation Comedy. She's fantastic, a comic out of LA as well. And I think I have done all of the promos. Thank you to Colton for bailing out tonight so that I could do this. And thank you to Richard, our tech genius. Our comics know him as the voice of God. And thank you to Laura for envisioning this idea. And thank you to my cat for not interrupting the show tonight. So that's been great. Hope you enjoyed everybody that you saw tonight. I'm Valerie, and I will see you all soon. Stay safe. Bye.